The wind howled across the open plains like a wounded beast. Dust and rain lashed against the ranch house, seeping through every crack in the walls. Inside, John Mercer, a lone rancher hardened by years of drought and loss, stood by the window, watching the sky swallow the horizon. He had lived too long in silence until that night. A faint knock came at the door. When he opened it, a woman collapsed into his arms, soaked to the bone and shivering violently. Her name was Eliza. Her horse had fallen miles back, and she had walked barefoot through the storm to reach the faint light of his ranch. John carried her inside and wrapped her in a blanket near the fire. The way she trembled wasn't only from cold. Something else had broken her spirit. She whispered about outlaws chasing her, men who had burned her wagon and left her for dead. John's jaw tightened, memories of his own family's loss flashing in his mind. He offered her warm coffee and safety for the night. As thunder cracked above the roof, Eliza gripped his arm, her voice shaking. "Please, don't let them find me." John hesitated. The fear in her eyes pierced deeper than any bullet wound. He promised to protect her, though he barely trusted himself anymore. When the horses neighed restlessly outside, he went for his rifle. The storm raged harder, and suddenly a shadow crossed the window. The door burst open. One of the outlaws stood there, drenched and sneering. "You got something that ain't yours, old man." In that moment, time seemed to stop. John didn't think, he acted. One pull of the trigger, and the outlaw fell where he stood. As Eliza gasped behind him, John realized what he had done. For the first time in years, his hands shook, not from fear, but from something deeper. He turned toward her. "You're safe now," he whispered, though deep down, he knew the storm wasn't over. Dawn broke slowly over the plains. The air smelled of rain and gunpowder. John sat on the porch, his rifle resting against his leg, eyes fixed on the horizon. Eliza stepped out behind him, her wounds cleaned and her spirit steadier. She looked different in the morning light, still fragile, but with a strength that hadn't shown before. "Why did you help me?" she asked softly. "You didn't even know my name." John took a long breath, the memory of his lost wife haunting his silence. "Because someone once helped me when I didn't deserve it," he said, "and I never got to thank her." For a moment neither spoke. The storm had passed, but the weight of the night still hung between them. When Eliza reached out and touched his hand, John froze, just like he had the night before. But this time, it wasn't fear that stopped him. It was hope. "Where will you go now?" he asked. She looked toward the trail stretching into the golden fields. "Wherever the road lets me start over," she said. "But maybe not alone." He didn't answer. Instead, he stood, went inside, and returned with his old horse saddle, dusted but sturdy. "Then let's ride," he said simply. As they rode side by side into the sunrise, the prairie came alive again, the wind calm, the world wide open. Two broken souls who had found something worth holding on to. Their story wasn't about what happened. In the dark, it was about what they chose. When the light returned,